have a better understanding and better insight about the topics which they already have studied. Not only that, these are things which can be adapted or practiced um, when they, even now for that matter. I would say that in today's world, these things are very essential, especially we being the our students being from commerce and management stream. So I'm not deliberating much on those things. I would request my colleague, Ms. Jisset, to introduce resource person and welcome all the other members who are participating in this webinar today. So over to you, Ms.
Okay, thank you, sir. So good morning to one and all. It's give me an immense pleasure to grace all of your presence. I extend my warm welcome to our dear father, Jacob Puducherry, our Executive Director of Bharat Mata College. And I also welcome our principal, Dr. M.L. Joseph. Okay, now my turn is to honor and introduce and welcome our chief guest of today, Mr. Madhusudanam EP, the co-founder of SCP and Associates. He is a fellow member of Institute of Company Secretaries of India and a fellow member of ICAI. And he is a diligent and a seasoned professional. And he is also having 30 plus year of experience in finance, secretarial compliance, stockbroking in various prestigious organizations. He has served as the chairman of Kochi chapter of ICAI, and he is currently chairman of Kochi chapter. So I extend and welcome you, sir, for this wonderful session. And I also extend my warm welcome to Mr. Shibunath, who is the man behind this session. So he came up with this great opportunity to our students to understand more about what is actually capital market and central depository services. So we are keenly watching for the session. So I would like to welcome all other faculty members and at last not least our strength, our students to this knowledge building session. And I invite all the students to utilize this session fruitfully. Thank you all. Thank you, sir. Now I welcome you, sir, again, Madhu, sir, to go ahead with the session.
Yeah, thank you, madam. Thank you, Joy, sir, for such a warm welcome. Let me share my presentation. One second.
Before Sir starts presenting, may I request all the participants to mute your microphones and disable your videos as well. So the scheme of today's presentation, Sir will be making a presentation followed by a brief presentation by CDSL regarding the registration part and all those things for your UE certificate. Mr. Shibunath will tell you about that. After that, we'll have question answer session followed by vote of thanks by the students from taxation. Sir, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, a good morning to all. Hope my screen is visible to everyone.
It's visible.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah. Oh. So, like Joy sir has said, as a commerce students and as a management students, you must have been gone through the basics as per the theoretical part, as the academic part. But whenever you take a subject, the practical part will be different from the academic part. So I will try to touch upon the both aspects, including academic and how the practical world is happening in the stock market, on the investment scenarios. First, whether this slide has changed, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I will just give a brief introduction of CDSL. CDSL is one of the companies incorporated in India during 1997. All of us are aware of one act called SEBI. You must have been studied an act called SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India Act, 1992. SEBI when took over the capital market function in 1992, the systems and the processes which was in capital market at that point of time was very liberal comparing to the situation which is being regulated today. So in 1996, Government of India has passed an act called Depositories Act in Parliament, and it has been enacted in 1996. The main purpose for that act was to demat or keep the shares in digital form. I will tell you what is the reason behind that. In coming slides, we will discuss about that. By that, in that act, 1996 Depositories Act, in India, two companies have been incorporated. One is CDSL and another is NSDL, National Security Depository. So CDSL has been incorporated in 1997, and the major shareholders, it was actually promoted by Bombay Stock Exchange and various foreign banks, including Standard Chartered Bank, like Indian banks, Canara Bank, HDFC, were the major stakeholders. And one of the most pertinent thing to note is that it is the first and the only depository which is listed in Asia Pacific region. Normally, SEBI will not allow an exchange or a depository to get registered. But in India, we have an exchange has been registered called Bombay Stock Exchange. It is a listed company, and CDSL is also a listed company. And various other certifications in IT systems and processes, business continuity, e-voting processes. We have got a lot of ISO certifications. CDSL has got a lot of ISO certifications. And we will get into the basics of depositories. Before going to capital market, you need to understand the basics of the depositories. Then only you can enter into a capital market. What is a depository? I'm sure that you all must be having a bank account, right? Everyone will be having a bank account. What you will do? You will, if you want to transfer money to your friend, or if you want to recharge your mobile, you will go to Google Pay, or you will go to Paytm. You will do the some other apps will be there. You will just go there and you will update, or you will recharge your mobile. Correct? In earlier days, if you ask your parents, the banking system, if you refer to the banking system, it was a hectic process. If you want to withdraw cash, you need to go to bank along with a check, and the person will have a ledger there. He will pass the entries there, and then it will go to manager, then it will go to cash counter. They will give a token to you. At that time, the token cashier will call the token number. You need to go to the cash counter and collect the cash. But nowadays, most of you people might have been not even entered to the bank. Correct? All bank accounts, people will come to your house. They will open the bank account, and they will give you user ID and passwords, or it will come through mail or by post. You will install, you will download in mobile. Everything you can done through online. Correct? So in stock market also, till 1996, that was the scenario. If you want to transfer a share, you need to write back side of the share. You need to, there is a thing called share certificate is there. You need to apply an application, then you need to fill it, both signatures, transfer signature, transferee signature, everything is required. Then only you can transfer the share. It was a hectic process, and it took almost 1 month to get the shares transferred. Some transfers due to mismatch. Almost, I know in one case, 18 months delay was there. Transfer delay was there, around 18 months. So it happens in stock market. To avoid that, depositories has been incorporated, and CDSL will give you a beneficial owner account. A beneficial owner account is nothing like same as a bank account. It's an account where your shares can be kept in a demat mode, means in a digital mode. So normally in basics of commerce, you must have been studied that share certificates will be having distinct numbers like that. You must have been studying your commerce. In BCom, you must have been studying. So in DMAT, there is no distinct numbers. That is the one of the main highlight. Normally, when you write the share certificate, there is a mechanism called the numbering system will be there. Once you demat it, there is no numbering system. Everything like in core banking system, you will get an account number and the name of the shares will be displayed. Name of the shares, actually the system is picking based upon the ISINs. It's an identification number for securities. International, it is an international numbering code, series code, ISIN. So each ISIN will be credited and debited in your BO accounts. In India, Cdsl is having 5.85 crores of DP accounts. One second. I have some technical this thing. Whether the presentation is still visible to you?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So Cdsl is having around 5.85 crores of demat accounts. It is same like bank account. Even same numbers must be having with NSDL also same numbers, almost same present. But the work thing, it's very notable thing to notice that 97% of pin codes CDSL is having covered throughout India. If you take in a district, there are districts have a lot of pin codes, correct? So the 100%, if you take in that way, 100% of districts have been covered by CDSL. You will have an either branch or a touch point will be there. Then comes the DPs, depository participants. They are the persons who are dealing with retail clients like us. You cannot directly go to CDSL and you cannot open an account. There is an intermediary. That intermediary is called depository participants. If you take in Kerala, we are having Federal Bank as a depository participant. In South Indian Bank is a depository participant. If you take stockbrokers, GOG, Acumen, Sharewell, lot of stockbrokers are there as depository participants. So for opening an account, you need to either approach a bank or you need to approach a stockbroker to open a beneficial owner account to keep your shares in a digital mode. So currently CDSL is having 593 DPs across India. And they are having, those DPs are having, that 593 DPs are having around 22,000 touch points. Means their branches are there. So then comes the issuer companies. Issuer companies, it will be listed and unlisted companies will be there. Listed because one company, if you want to go to public, or every public company need to have their shares in demat account, in demat mode. They cannot hold physical shares as per law. So CDSL is having around 18,000 companies in their books for in digital format. Then equity ASNs and other assets. Now, this is the basics. Now we will go to investments in capital market. My another 20 minutes presentation will be based on this. What is the need for saving? How we need to save? What is the difference between inflation and investing? Then financial planning and investment planning. what is the asset classes or asset allocation, mutual funds, and then introduction to capital market, right issues. Just and brief, I will give you a brief once you enter into capital market, what is about right issues and do's and don'ts in capital markets, services offered by DPs, and what are the key takeaways as an investor. Okay. So what is the need for saving? Okay, like what is mentioned in slide. It is for freedom to pursue a dream career, long-term social security, savings for fun, marriage, leaving a financial legacy, big purchases, retirement planning. As a student, you need to I will tell you the opportunities which is available to you at this young age for investing in various arenas. Better if you start investing at the age of 20 or 21, at the time of 30 or 40, you'll be having a huge amount in your hands which can be utilized for either for a house purchase, or it will be having you can plan it for retirement. There are some persons whom I know, they usually tell to me that after 45 I will never work, because their policy is that till 45 he will work, after 45 he will live another 15 years from 45 to 60, all world tour, like that funda he will be doing. So you need to have a vision, or you need to have a plan how to utilize the money. So before utilization, first you need to save money. For saving, what is the difference in saving the money? You can put it in an in bank as an FD, whether it will make any change. And that comes the importance of the investment in capital market, because there is a term called inflation. What inflation? What is the relevance between inflation and investments? So if you see the data released recently, our inflation, the RBI is expecting the inflation is going on in same trend. There is no change in inflation rates. So for example, for a better understanding, I will just give an example to you. Suppose you are having 1 lakh rupees in your hand. One of us are going with that 1 lakh rupees to a bank, and we are putting it in FD. And currently the FD rates are 6%. So what it means, at the end of the year you will get 1,06,000 rupees, correct? Okay. And our another friend, he's also having same 1 lakh rupees. He's also investing that amount either into mutual fund or into stock market. Normally if stock market gives you 10% or 7% return, whatever return you get, that what it means, at the end of the year you will get that amount, whatever the interest portion or whatever the return portion you will get. But the thing you need to understand here is that if in our economy the inflation rate is more than 6%, then actually you are losing your money while putting it into a bank. Why? Because the inflation rate is around 7.2 or 8% will be the inflation rate, or 6.5 will be the inflation rate. You must have been studied in your commerce a concept called time value for money. A thing which can be purchased for 1 rupee is now cannot be purchased for the same value at the end of the year, correct? Time value for money, one concept is there in financial management. So what it tells that actually there is no increase in value. Thing is that your money has been depreciated or devalued. That is the base theory behind that. So in the same way, the inflation is the main factor which decides your investment. Either you need to invest in bank, or you need to invest in areas which gives more return than inflation. Usually, if you take in stock market, the returns, long-term returns is always above 12 to 13%. It depends upon the time which you enter the stock market or the time you exit from the stock market. It's always, stock markets are always subject to market risk. There is no question about that. It will go up, go down. Short-term investors will always lose money. So it is an investment, it's an art. You need to go through how you need to go through the financials of the company. You need to go through the business models of the company. Then only you will able to sustain in stock market. So how to do that, that we will come in other slides. Coming slides we will discuss about it. So whenever you are planning for investments, you need to keep in mind that money loses its value over a period of time. Whatever you can purchase with 100 rupees today, you cannot purchase the same thing after 1 year for 100 rupees. Then goods gradually becomes expensive, inflation increases over time and decreases the value of money. So you need to be a learned investor before doing any investments. Then comes financial planning and investment planning in Indian and foreign scenario. Investment planning, what we tell in India, what we will do, you will get after your studies, you will get campus placement, you will get into job, earn first salary, spend it. If anything is balance is there, I will invest. But if you take the other part of the world, the thing is that they will earn first. They will earmark the investment part or savings part. Then they will spend. And whatever they invest and whatever they accrue, again they will spend it. That is the second matter. Even though the actual financial planning tells that once you earn, first you earmark an amount for investments, for savings, then you spend it. Like Warren Buffett has said, do not say what is left after spending. Instead of spend what is left after saving. Then what I told in before 2 slides, investments, learned investments. Normally it's there is a professional course for studying investments, how to invest in stock market, what are the risks associated with the risk market. Most of the investment bankers, they are going through each and every types of trades or algorithmic algo trades, how to plan, what are the things to buy, what are the things to sell, everything they will be studying. So as an investor, it's better to go to mutual funds, as per my advice. As a student, you start investing in mutual funds, because what if you invest in mutual fund, like my presentation next slide, it will tell upon what are the advantages. You will have an asset manager. He will look after your funds. They will charge a very minimal fee, but your investments will be always safe. And it is a diversified investment portfolio comparing to our normal investment portfolio. Normally mutual funds investment portfolio is very diversified. Then in India, if you see, the most of the, especially in Kerala, most investments happens in 2 areas. One in real estate, and the second thing in stocks. Stocks means not in shares, but it will be in either as gold or silver or titanium, like that. Gold is the major investment trend in Kerala. Normally very less people invest in share market or stock or mutual funds or in bonds. Most of us are very well versed in investment in gold. You cannot tell gold. It's actually our investment is in jewelry, not in gold. We will always buy jewelries, correct? Then real estate and gold is the in Kerala scenario, it is the most highlighted investment part. Then comes savings, bank savings, life insurance, foreign exchanges, forex, bonds, stocks, etc. We will go to mutual fund. Why mutual fund? Because mutual fund is very safer comparing to a normal investment. A normal investment requires a lot of detailed study. If you are doing a private investment, or if you are doing a self-investment, if you are buying shares of Reliance or Tata or TCS, then what will happen? You need to go through their balance sheet. You need to study their fundamentals. What is the high? What is the low? We doesn't have a time for that, correct? Because it is not our core area of doing things. So what normally we suggest to employees or students is that you start a mutual fund. What mutual fund will do? They will pool money of every investors and they will give it to a fund manager. What fund manager will do? He will study, he will go through the balance sheet of all companies, and he will build a portfolio. That portfolio of securities will start generating income, and that income is passed to investors. So the risk is diversified in such a way that the portfolio is designed like that. So as a student, you just start a mutual fund account with any persons. There are a lot of mutual funds available in India. You start with either with SBI or HDFC or ICICI. Any mutual fund, you just start and you invest monthly 100 rupees, 100 or 500 rupees. You see the magic at the end of when you reach the age of 40. It will be, amount will be in lakhs of rupees will be in your hand, in your reserves. If the market is growing like this, it will be crores. So you start investing 500 rupees per month. It's just your mobile recharge amount. No, you just collect from your family, or you just invest your pocket money to mutual funds. Okay, one of the safest area comparing to the other part. So it is very diversified. Mutual fund is very diversified portfolio, and it is very convenient. The risk adjusted return is very good. Then potential and liquidity. This liquidity part, if you want money, you can sell the mutual fund. Second day you will get the money. That much liquidity is there. And some mutual funds give you tax advantage also. Under ATC you will be getting investments up to so much amount. In certain category of investments you will get tax benefit, which at the time of employment only you need to look. Then it's a very professional managed team is there in mutual fund. They will consistently, they will go through the balance sheets and financials and business models of each and every company which our money is lying. Then in capital market, like in your book, in your syllabus you will be having two types of market. Capital market has been segregated into two parts: primary market and secondary market. Primary market is the market where the money is collected from public, correct? Through a process called IPO. First time company is coming to public first time, is a procedure called IPO. Initial public offer is there. Then once you allot shares to public, then you will enter, that company will enter into secondary market along with their shareholders. The shareholders, what they can do, they can either buy new shares or they can sell that shares. All buying, selling, everything will happen in secondary market. And companies also, if they want to raise additional funds, what they will do, they will go to secondary market. They, through right issue, they will raise the funds. Then for opening an trading account in securities market, three things mandatory you need to be having. One is you need to have a bank account. It can be savings bank or current account is also it will do. But normally what we will do is for this mutual funds, everything, saving account is the best thing for this NACH facility, everything. Savings account will be easier comparing to current account. Then comes the trading account, which you need to have mandatorily. You need to have an account with a stockbroker. In India, The mechanism is like that. For buying or selling or dealing a share of a listed company, you need to mandatorily have a account with a stockbroker. Only stockbrokers are allowed to deal with securities with exchange. So a trading account is required, and a mandatory thing is that a demat account, like what I told at the beginning of this section. It's an account which you can open either with a stockbroker or with a bank. The depository participants, they will open a trading account. What they will do? They will keep your all securities in digital form. So these three are the mandatory requirements for dealing or buying or selling a shares in India. Okay. Then what are the requisite documents which are required for dealing in demat account or opening a trading or demat account? First thing, you should have a PAN number. It's mandatory. Only if you have a PAN number, then only you can deal in stock market. So PAN is a mandatory document for even though for purchasing a mutual fund, PAN is mandatory. So you should have a PAN which is issued by, normally PAN is issued by income tax department, correct? Permanent account number. It's an income tax number, ID number issued by IT department. Then any one of the address proof. It can be either voter ID card or your passport or driving license or your bank account statement, anything. So one ID proof and one address proof is mandatory. Mandatory for opening a trading account and demat account. For both accounts, these two are mandatory. Either one is proof of identity and one is proof of address. In proof of identity, PAN is mandatory. If PAN is there, then you can open an account. And as an ID proof and address proof. In some cases, they will ask two ID proof, one PAN along with either passport or Aadhaar card, any other valid documents they will ask. Because if name mismatch is there with your proof of identity and proof of address. If you take the PAN card, normally PAN will be issued in your full name. Like if you take T Sakriya, but in PAN card it will be Thomas Sakriya. Thomas will be the name of our father, correct? So Thomas Sakriya in PAN card, and all the address proof it will be Sakriya T, something like that. So they to establish that connection, they will ask one more document to substantiate it. So mandatory documents, these are the mandatory documents. Then who all can open a demat account? Like us. Either as an individual or as a joint holder, you can open a demat account. If you are opening a demat account as a joint holder, then maximum 3 numbers of joint holders you can open. You along with your parents, father, mother, same account. You can hold a same account in the name of, you will be the first holder, second holder will be your father, and the third holder will be your mother or your brother or sister, however. Either you can open like that or you can open in your own name. No other joint holders are there, only in your own name. Then HEF, which normally in Kerala, we doesn't have that much HEFs, but if you take in the other part of country, like in North India, there are a lot of HEFs are there, especially in Rajasthan and Gujarat, lot of HEF businesses are there. They can also open an account, including a minor can open an account through his guardian. They can open an account. Then NRIs, corporates, trust, banks, all type category of people can open a demat account. Then the main benefits of demat account. Main benefits are it's very safe. I will not tell the company's name. In 94, there was a big stock market scam was there with the duplicate share certificates. What will happen now? Company has issued shares, and you will get a share certificate in that. as a proof of you are the shareholder. If you transfer the shares, if you are in Cochin, what is the mechanism is you will sign it and you will send to Bombay, because company's registered office is in Mumbai. So you will send it to Mumbai, and when company receives it, company will see it, and company will transfer the shares. And thing is that almost 20% of the shares were forged shares. Even company doesn't know which is original shares, which is duplicate shares. That was the scenario at that point of time. And somehow they have exited that route. Lot of investors has lost the money. So there is no duplication, or there is no forgery of your share certificates. Yeah, if you keep these shares in demat form. Then another highlight thing is that you will get loan against shares. If it's a good company, A category shares, if it's a TCS share, or if it's a Infosys shares, or if it's a client share, you can go to bank and you will get around 60%, like same as gold. You will get gold loan, no? Like that, you will get loan against shares. Then it's very easy and instant transfer. Just you can sell it like in a like you are transferring the money, you can transfer the shares. Mutual funds also you can keep it in demat mode. Not only shares, mutual fund also you can keep it in demat mode. Okay. Then right issue is a mechanism which will normally happen in secondary market. The all listed companies, if they want additional fund, they will go to the shareholders, called a mechanism called right issue. The right issue, the object of the right issue is collect funds, but as a shareholder, our advantage is that either you can take that right issue share, or you can renounce it, and you can sell that share to some other person, and you can collect money. So renunciation of the right entitlement, either in full or in part, is the greatest advantage for a shareholder. If you want additional share, you can apply. That also it is possible. Then do's and don'ts before trade. Deal only through SEBI registered intermediaries. Why SEBI registered intermediaries? There are lots of frauds are happening in stock market. Never ever deal with a person who is not a SEBI registered intermediary. How you will come to know whether he is a SEBI registered intermediary? You just go to SEBI's website, the name of the person who is dealing there, or you go to stock exchange. If you just go and type Geojit, it will come. Geojit's registration number, the date of registration, when it has been registered, where all they are having branches, everything you will get it. Everything you will get it from either from exchange site or from SEBI site. So deal only to SEBI registered intermediaries. Then ensure that you have read all mandatory documents. Whenever you open a trading account, what will happen now? It's like a taking a loan or a loan documentation. When you are purchasing a bike, you will be signing lot of signatures in the loan document. Like same way in KYCs, know your client or know your customer, in that form, KYC form, you will be signing in all pages. Whenever you sign a page, you ensure that you have read it and you have signed. Or else, at least you collect a copy of the thing which you have signed. And you can sign only mandatory documents. There are only 2 mandatory documents are there. Balance everything is voluntary document. In document itself, it will be shown. See, this is mandatory document and this is voluntary document. If it is voluntary document, it's at your option whether to sign or not. It's not mandatory to sign there. You read it. If it's okay with you, you can sign it. Then get a clear idea about the brokerages and the charges which are levied by the broker, and obtain all copies of documents executed by you. Then don'ts, like I told, don't ever deal with unregistered intermediaries. Don't execute any documents with intermediary without reading and understanding the contents. Don't trade on rumors. There is a famous quoting in stock market. Even dabbawalas will sell the tips. You know dabbawalas. There is a person, there is some in Mumbai, you will be having a category of persons called dabbawalas. Their job is to hand over the lunch to the workmen or employees. They will collect the lunch from home and they will deliver to their respective person's office. So even Dabbawala know which share will go up, which share will come. He will tell today Reliance will go up by 10 rupees or 100 rupees. If you, lot of persons will be there for giving you advices. Don't ever take the advices. If you are investing, you should have you need to have an informed investor. You need to study the balance sheet or financials. If you doesn't have the time, you go with mutual fund. And whenever you open an account with a stockbroker, they will give you trading account, user ID and password. Don't share with anyone. Keep the same thing as confidential like your bank account. Don't share your account details and password to any persons. Then don't make any cash payments to stockbroker. In stock market, cash and DD transaction has been prohibited. You cannot deal in cash. Either you need to open a bank account, you transfer that amount, or you need to give a crossed check to stockbroker. Don't give liquid cash. Then don't issue checks in the name of sub-brokers or some other persons, authorized persons. Always issue check in the name of stockbroker. Then don't hesitate to approach concerned authorities to resolve dispute. If you have any dispute, you can always go to exchange or depository for CDSL, and you can they will redress your complaint. And services offered by depositories are DMAT. DMAT it is like what I said in the initial, keeping in a digital format. You convert the physical shares into electronic form, including remat. If someone wants their shares as in a physical form, they can do it. They can convert, remat it. Then transfer of securities, transmission, transportation. We have already covered. And these are the facilities offered by the CDSL. It's an EC, electronic access to securities information. You will get an user ID and password. You just log into that EC. You will see what are the shares you are having. How much is the shares, what is the price, everything you will be having. ECS is one step ahead than EC. You can enter secure transaction. You can transfer the shares. In ECS platform, these are different platforms which are available with CDSL. Then MyEC is a mobile app. You will get all details in a mobile, like Google Pay or whatever maybe mobile apps you are using. You will get all your information regarding your shares and securities which are kept in DMAT. Then Smart is an SMS alert provision. SMS alert provision, whenever there is a debit in your account, you will get a message. Means whenever you sell a share, you will get a message, and whenever credit is happening also, at the end of the day, you will get the share, a message. For debits, there is a fixed time period is there. Every that time, the server will shoot out the messages that your account has been debited. Your account has been debited with this number of shares, like that. It will be message will be remitted to you. Then e-voting and e-locker. E-voting is a mechanism which is available to shareholders to vote, cast their vote. Earlier, it was done through physical mode. Now everything is in electronic. And ECAS is a consolidated account statement. It's a monthly account statement given by depositories. You will get an email from CDSL that what are the shares are kept in DMAT account. What are the shares lying in your DMAT account. Only DMAT account or details will be shared in ECAS, not the shares kept in physical form. Whenever you are having an grievances, you can always go through an online system. Grievance redressal is very fast comparing to other laws. SEBI will close the case within 30 days. Whatever case maybe, there is no long pending cases are there. Within 30 days, whatever complaint is there, it gets resolved. And you will get the updates and info in CDSL website also. You can, if you have any doubt, you can ask that doubt in the chat box regarding investments. So today's our main takeaways are always update your contact details with your depository participants, update your bank accounts, nominees. You can have up to 3 nominees. Keep your slip, your delivery instruction slip in your safe custody. Register and track. Always see whenever a message is coming, you just see whether what is happened to my DMAT account, verify your transaction. Then POA is nothing but it's a voluntary document, so it's an optional document. It's not necessary you need to sign. Don't do transaction through tips, stock tips. Okay. So from here onwards, I think Shibunath can take over this section. After that, we will have a QA.
Okay, thank you very much. The screen is visible, huh?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Shibunath. I am from Cdsl Cochin office.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Screen is visible, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So I will take you through one platform which was developed by Averathon for Cdsl, because as a part of Cdsl CSR activity, we have developed a e-learning platform for the students, for the investors. That means once you sign up, okay, you can go through different modules, videos, and once you cover 50% of the topics which given in the login, the system will issue the certificate. That certificate will be issuing by CDSL in association with our digital platform service provider Averathon. So I will already this link already shared in the chat box and also shared to sir also to the college. Once you receive this link, you have to click on this link and you have to select your title, name, last name, email address and mobile number and sign up. Once you register for this one, then you can use this link sign in option to log in using your user ID. User ID will be your email ID and password which you set. Once you log in, this is our e-learning platform. Here left side you have to click. There you can see courses. In courses, you can see take through courses. Okay. Here, once you click on take courses, you can see different courses available in the login: investment, savings, budgeting, DMAT and stock market, mutual fund, ETF, inflation, tax, basics of investments. So one of the feature of this platform, see what are topics today we have updated. These topics will periodically we will update whenever there is a change comes. Okay, so that is the advantage of this platform. So once you click on this investments, so you can see different topics available under investments. Then you complete one by one. Once you complete 50% of the, you can complete 100%. Okay, but once you complete 50%, you will be eligible to get the certificates. Okay, so then if you want to take the certification, then immediately there is a link for the certification. Once you click on the link certification, it will ask you to enter your email ID where you want to receive your certificates. Then you appear one small test. Okay, so there we need a 70% accuracy of the answers which you have submitted online. So when it is submitted, if it is there is a 70% accuracy, so CDSL will be issuing certificate automatically. It will come to your email ID. Thank you very much. With this, I'm ending my presentation.
Thank you, sir, for the very informative session. And once again, I thank the resource person, Mr. Madhusudan, as well as CDSL, Mr. Shivunath, for giving such a wonderful opportunity. And in fact, there is an official vote of thanks which will be presented by a student. But before that, I would like to request, if possible, we would like to have more associations like this with CDSL and a resource person like you, where our students get really benefited and they have the hands-on practical experience apart from the theoretical part which they otherwise also would be studying. So if that is possible, I would be very much happy to have many more associations in future.
Of course, sir.
Thank you. May I request our student, Mr. Gokul Krishna, to present vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. A very good morning to one and all. It's my great privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, I express my sincere gratitude to the vibrant resource person CMA CS Madhusudan and EP for enlightening us with the concept of capital market and depository services. It was a very informative session. Thank you, sir. I also express my sincere thanks to Mr. Shivunath from CDSL for your informative session. Thank you, sir. I thank CDSL for giving such a wonderful opportunity for all of us. Next, I thank Mr. Joe Peter, sir, Assistant Professor and IQAC Coordinator, who has put his sincere effort for arranging such informative session for all of us. Thank you, sir. Next, I thank all faculty members for their cooperation. Finally, I thank each and every one of my friends for your sincere participation and cooperation throughout the session. Thank you. Once again, I would like to thank everyone. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any now questions? Moving on to questions. Any questions? We left out that part actually, which should have come before the vote of thanks. Anyway, any
Okay,
questions? Any questions? Students? If you want, you can use the chat box or you can message to us. Still, we'll get the whatever doubts you have cleared later on also. There's no issue. Any questions, please? If you don't have, then we'll wind up. So I think I'll assume that they have understood 10% or they are already practitioners. Either way, I think they have benefited. So thank you, and I think we'll then wind up the session. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.